What's going on, everybody? Nick Daniels here, coming at you live, man, yet again. And today we have another video for you about speed dating. So lo and behold, I've done this yet again, as you folks probably know by now. We do this every once in a while. And unfortunately today, boys, we're taking an L. So this one wasn't really that good. I want to explain why that was. It was more me, but I'll explain why that was right after this. All right, that's apparently where I'm going to put my intro in. I swear to God, if I forget to put that in there, that'll be really embarrassing. So yeah, man. So I did some speed dating there recently. Again, just this past week, actually. But when I upload this video, it'll be a little after it, and it was a little rougher. I'll admit that. So a couple of things of reasons why. So I think one of them is it was kind of like. It was like the same night as a work day too. Like I had finished work at 5 o'clock and I had stayed at work and I just kind of like basically watched YouTube and ate poutine to kill time. So like, cause it was 8 o'clock this event was, so I had a few hours to burn. And I got like, I'm not gonna lie, man, I got really pooped out. I got really tired. Just going home and sitting there and killing time, or not like, or just sorry, like not going home and like sitting at work and just like kicking back in a chair, like you know how you get, right? So I think that was one of them. We ended up going to the bar, and I didn't have a drink before to get the edge off. I go in the bar. I'm just like kind of because this one was actually at a bar, but it was like just in a slightly divided area of the bar, which was fine. Grab a drink, talk to a couple of the guys, you know, that are always chilling. There's always a couple of the boys chilling, right? Overall, I mean, at this point, not bad by any means. So I get in there and I recognized like 4 of them, I think 4 to 15. I instantly recognized. Because I had done a previous event, which now, if I remember, I probably won't. That's why I joke about this stuff. I probably won't. But at the top somewhere, there's usually I can make a pin, and it can bring you to the suggested video about that event. And I think I did that at a beach where I talked about that. Very interesting. It was basically like a mixer. So anyway, so it was the same event that I had recognized people from. So that was an event, and I went to speed dating through that same organization. And yes, I recognized several of the women. So don't get me wrong, like it's nice chats when you have those conversations, right? Because it is a familiar face, right? You do see someone you recognize. You might not have talked, but you recognize them to some degree. And I'll admit that those conversations were a lot more casual, a lot more laid back. You know, you weren't trying to really get to know that person. You were almost like catching up, you know. So those were a few off the get-go that were like no-goes. And there's one girl that I already know through some other people that was there as well, who I'm not interested in. So there's already a good chunk not interested. You already know where this is going. Okay. So we go around the tables. The first one I wasn't into. The first person, well, I'm not going to go through all 15 really like per se, but we'll just kind of give a quick rundown here. But there was probably the first couple I already had like a no in mind, like from me though. Like I was like, I think I'm okay, you know. And it could be like either physical appearance, you know, person, whatever, right? Like it's just I wasn't feeling it. So what I was doing was I would like, you go like 8 people, you get a break, and then you go 7-8 people, right? So what I would do is I got to the halfway point normally, and then I mark like yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. I just had the no's in mind, right? So I was like, okay, like out of 4 people, I had 2 no's, like that I was going to say no to. So I just had those in my mind, right? Like who those would be. I took some notes, you know, on the piece of paper. I even took a picture at the end of the night, so I remember some names. There was a few girls that like, I had like pleasant conversations with, like it was pleasant, but it wasn't anything like I would write home about. There was 2 of them that I was like dead no in the conversation. Like they were just kind of, I don't know, man. There was one girl that showed up in like a hoodie. I just thought that was really odd. Like you're supposed to dress up like you would on a date. So I usually do like a button up, you know, nice pair of shoes, pair of jeans, little bit of cologne on, you know, and it's like, I'm just saying, man, you just rolled up in a hoodie. That's a little odd to me, but I mean, to each their own, right? To each their own, whatever you want to do. But I just thought that was a slightly odd apparel for the event. But again, I could be completely wrong, but the way I saw it, that was weird. So the 2 girls that I actually talked to and actually were like, hey, these girls look kind of cute. I would like to get to know them a bit better. They seemed friendly and, you know, whatever. There's never really a conversation that goes like that really takes off. Once in a while there is, but most of the time there isn't. The one time that did happen, unfortunately, we did end up getting the match. Unfortunately, she kind of stood me up after it, and I only say kind of because I never texted her the day of. We texted a few days in advance, and I was like, okay, like we're gonna do this on Friday, which was like Monday or Sunday, and she was like, yeah, that's cool. And then Friday, I didn't see her, so I guess I needed to remind her of Friday, but it was important to me, and I didn't need to text myself to know that I set that up and I was ready to go. That was probably one of the only girls that actually, like, we really had a really good back and forth, and you could kind of feel that chemistry. Most of them you don't. Like, you just kind of have a nice, pleasant conversation, and whatever. So these two, I had that with them, and one of them, it was, I think she went there for, like, a friend, and the girl that was supposed to go with the friend bailed, so she kind of went along. So I instantly was like, okay, like, you kind of just went because you needed something to do. And the other one that I was interested in, I'm pretty sure we talked on Bumble a while ago, like a while ago though. And I put two and two together, like her profession, the look of her, like it all made sense after. That's how I knew that. And anyway, she ended up ghosting on there. So it's funny that I talked to those two people. Those were the two I thought I had, there was a possibility. And unfortunately, with great displeasure, we got 0 matches. I paid $46. I get a beer complimentary, whatever you call that, so $35 venue. And then I still bought a second beer there and walked home, and we got 0 matches. I'll admit that was really defeating at first, and I didn't go into it like gun-ho like I usually do. Like, I wasn't super, super excited. I kind of went into it very casually. Like, I was like, okay, like, whatever happens, happens. And I actually was, like, thinking to myself before I even went into, like, if I ended up getting, like, a match or two, I was going to be pretty much over the moon. So my expectations were very not high for this event, which was probably a good thing. Because I think if you put your expectations way too high, like, you'll just be ready for disappointment. So I think going into it in my mindset was better. Kind of going into it and just saying, okay, like, if something happens, and hey, something happens, and if something doesn't happen, then something doesn't happen. But it's still, like, kind of crippling. Like, you still take that loss. Whether you look at it like that or not, like, you definitely do. You still look at it as, I went there, I paid time, I did my, I used my time, I paid money, and, I got nothing out of it per se. I say per se because technically, like, someone could argue and, like, well, you actually got, like, experience or something, like dating, which I guess is true for 7 minutes per girl, but yeah, you know how it is. Anyway, I don't know what to tell you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Speed dating. See ya. Thanks for watching, you pencil pushers. If you guys want to check out my Instagram here, I've just got it in the background. It's Nick Daniels Photography with an underscore in between each word where I post every day. That's a lie. Thanks for watching. Peace.